Okay, I'd love for you to, introduce to beginners, people who are like, wow, I'm really drawn to this amazing lady and her art, and holy wow, there's a whole universe of where she's coming from. She's not just painting and cool. She's really like, you know what I mean? So she's really bringing in something that feels familiar and I want to learn about. So for people who don't know, what is the Sefer Yetzirah?
It's the oldest esoteric Hebrew text that exists that we know about. And it used to be an oral tradition, so we don't even know how old it is. We just have references where people have talked about it. Mm-hmm. So for example, we hear about it in the Babylonian Talmud, which is 450 Common Era. So we know that it's at least 1600 years old. But that's just because there's a reference. We don't know when it started. And linguists can say, well, yeah, we can track the linguistic pattern back to this era, but as we know, as we retell stories, we also adapt them to our current linguistics. So it's not really a good marker. And so the Sefer Yetzirah is at the base, was used, its structure was used for the first Kabbalist tree. And Kabbalism is, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's like the examination and discussion and interpretation of ancient texts within Judaism, but it became its own movement in the 12th century. And it started putting out its own books. And in that Kabbalist library of all these ancient esoteric and even Orthodox texts, because it includes the Torah, in that, the oldest text is the Sefer Yetzirah. And in the 16th century, you had a rabbin called Moses Cordovero who took the Sefer Yetzirah, he took the Midrash, because by that time, Kabbalism, it was using a lot of different texts. So it had a lot of different ideas that were being consolidated into different schools. But not everybody agreed, because one school would be more like this and one more like that. And things like Neo-Pythagoreanism was very influential, and there was back and forth. The whole idea of emanation that we see in Kabbalism, which comes from an ineffable one, but that one overflows into itself because there is only that one, through these emanations, these steps of creation. And these ideas, that came from Neo-Pythagoreanism. Oh, sorry. Neoplatonism is because the Plato and the Neoplatonists really relied a lot on Pythagorean thought. So my Freudian slut was that it was Neo-Pythagoreanism.
Oh, yeah.